So hi guys, I do apologise, this video was a little touch longer than I wanted it to be. I did struggle with issue 103, just with a couple of little bits, but 104 is practically identical to 103, so you'll find 104 you can do with your eyes shut once you've done 103. It's just that learning. There's a few extras with 104. As I say, 103, 104 are practically the same. But at the end of 104 we're going to add on two mudguards, which makes me very happy, and two wheels, which for a change makes me happy. But now look at my drawer. These are the bits that have been made. I can fit my drawer back in proper place now, because I haven't got the mudguards in there, so stopping it. So we're basically down to just a few pieces, and we're going to end up with a chassis, and we're going to end up with a cab. It's wonderful issue. Now next issue, next week, sorry, talking about next week before I've even finished this week, we're going to be doing issue 105 next week, which is going to be quite a complicated issue. It's the third one of the pack. However, it's the 20th December next week, and I am taking a 2-week break for Christmas, which I'll explain a little bit more. You'll see on all of my videos next week. I'll probably explain this on every video, so I'll explain more next week. So next week's going to be a single issue, but yeah, sit back, enjoy issue 103, 104, and I hope you enjoy watching as much as I really did enjoy making.
The road from coast to coast, Yorkie and me rolling on. 'Cause a long day's run can be short on fun without Yorkie to help me along.
So this is issue 103, mudguard and indicator. The front right mudguard, tilting handle and a side indicator are fitted to the cab. Not many parts, a lot more work to do than the parts suggest, and we are going to need our cab, which I have turned upside down because we are going to be doing all the work on the bottom. So let me just move that slightly out of the way. So the parts for this issue is part 103-1, the right front mudguard. Then we have part number 2, right tilting handle, and I'm trying to arrange these roughly how the magazine has arranged them. 103 lens for right indicator, very small. Oh, we can see that, nicely detailed actually. And 103, sorry, part 4 is the mount for the right indicator, and again nicely detailed if we ever get a focus. There we go, nice. We also have DP7 screws. We should have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, sorry, 4 screws, one of which is spare. We've got 4 in there, and we've got 2 DD03s, of which one is spare. So let's bring our cab in a little bit closer. Let's pop these indicators over here, and there we go. Right, so take the cab assembly from issue 87. Identify 2 rectangular holes in parts 14.1, 14.2. Now those rectangular holes are there and there. I don't quite get the relevance of that hole at the moment. We need to identify the cable and LED 83.6. The connector is labelled 4. So that is this one there, and we need to thread it through the hole, thread the LED with the 2 cables through the hole in part, then bring the labelled connector. So we're going to bring that in from behind. Now, a bit of a criticism, when we built this part, why did it not tell us to trap that wire through that hole when we put it on? Now, not sure if I've done that right, because This is a bit odd. Take the right, so bring the label connector through the hole as well. So are we bringing the we can't be bringing that LED through because that's not going to fit. I don't think we are. I think that that LED, there's two LEDs at the front. Are they going to go there? So right, yes, I can see that this is going to be coming. Guys, I can't work this out. Right, I'm going to have to take a cut. Okay, yeah, so I've just studied the instructions a bit further. I've brought this cable back out again. The cable, that connector shouldn't be going through. It's the LED that should be going through. So it's a little bit awkward because you've got this tilting mechanism there. So again, when we put this on, why were we not told to trap this wire through? It does go through okay. But yeah, what we have here is yeah, this wire at the end, the connector end seems to go over and the LED goes through. So once that's in, we need to take the tilting handle, and that's going to go here. We have two connectors, two holes, one there and one there, and we have like a loose bit there and a connector there. That's going to go on like that, and that will be screwed down with two DD03 screws. So I'll get my, that can't be, sorry, my bad, one DD03 screw there, and then we'll be using a PB because the DD is going through the metal, the DP is going through the plastic. That's why we only need one screw, but we get given two because we always get given a spare. So please forgive the screwdriver. I'm using my purple Aurea today for the simple reason that I cannot locate my other screwdriver, and that's not really working very well because that's not the correct head. So I'm going to have to find another screwdriver with a better head. So I do, oh actually that's in, that's not quite in. Bear with me a sec, guys. I've got loads of screwdrivers but none with heads in. That's going to be way too small and I might have to do another cut. There we go. Excuse me, that's gone in absolutely fine now with the correct screwdriver head. So this being a screw into metal, although we could screw that in quite tight, do be careful of this plastic bit there, could crack it. I'm just going to screw it in until there's no movement. That's actually fine there. If we didn't have that screw, I think that would be sufficient, but you know what these part works are like. They like to give you belt and braces. So we're going to take a DP07 screw and we're just going to pop that into the second hole, which is there. I'm not sure if that's enough. Yeah, that is. I didn't know if that was a magnetized screwdriver. So remember, this is going into plastic. So we're just going to keep screwing until the resistance changes. And that's in. So that's what we're going to end up with. That is in. So the next step, we want to take piece number 1 and we're going to pop that in this way. So we've got this little hole on the outside and we see we've got two, right, so we've got 2 screw holes there. Now those 2 screw holes are going to go on those holes there, but it's going to come in from underneath like so into there. Let me show you that without the screws in. So we pop it in from underneath and that's going to, can you see at the top there, it's going to fit into there, and we're going to fix that in with 2 DP07 screws because that's the only screws we've got left. And by my calculations, that is all the screws we're going to use in this issue. And I can't get that screw out. So it's going to be slightly tricky because gravity's going to want that part to fall out. So we're going to get our screw ready. We'll bring that in like so, and we'll just pop that into any screw hole that we want, just enough to bite as per usual. And then I'm going to pop this screw into the second hole, just enough to bite, and then I'm going to switch to my correct screwdriver, and I'm going to tighten that up again just until it bites, until it resistance changes. Sorry, I do apologize. So is there any movement? No. Oh, there's a little bit there, so I'll give that a little bit more, and I'm happy with that. I can pull that out, but I'm not going to. So that is what that looks like there, and we can see the indicator is going to go there. So on to the next stage. We need to take the lens for the right indicator, and we need to pop that into the lens mount. Hopefully that's going to be a really good push fit connection. I don't want that to fall out, do I? So you can see there's some detail on there. We want that detail obviously to be on the outside, and we'll just pop that in there, and please be a good push fit connection. It is. That's very good. Not quite in. There we go. I don't think that's going to fall out in a hurry. That's going to be quite nice. Right, so it does say this is a push fit connection, and what we are going to do is this little LED that we pushed through earlier, we're going to push through that through the hole there and pull that all the way through like so, and we're going to push that LED into the holder, and I'm just going to have to turn this around, and I'm using the lip on the bulb, and I'm going to push that in as tight as I can. I don't think that's going to need any glue, and then what we're going to do is we're going to push the whole lot back in gently. Yeah, I thought that was caught on something. There we go. Push that in. There we go. That will click in, and that's in nicely there. So that's going to be an indicator, and that is that issue done. Now the next issue, I'm not actually sure at this stage if I'm going to do it now, but it's going to be the same again, plus a little bit on the end. So I have the parts for me for issue 104, which is left mudguard and indicator. Now you're going to recognize all of these parts. We've got 104.1, which is a left front mudguard. We've got a left tilting handle, piece number 2. I meant to say in the last stage these are both plastic. Then we have the mount for the left indicator, again same as you saw in the last stage, and we've got this wonderful lovely little indicator lens. Now we have got DD03 screws, of which there are 2, one will be a spare. We've got DP07, there are 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and we've got some DD08s. We've got 3 of these. It says 3, one of which is spare, but I can see that there's 4 in there. So do they mean we need 3 and 1 is spare? Right, so I made a slight mess of the last stage at this point, but the great thing about doing the same thing twice is we kind of learn how to do it. So we're looking for a cable labelled number 3, which by coincidence, I swear that's coincidence, this is cable number 3. We need to take this LED and we need to push it through that hole there, and I didn't think the last one was going to go through too easily, but it actually went through fine. So, and I'm hoping this one will. There we go, that's gone through. So as long as you get it halfway through, that should be fine. So that one can come through there like so, and then this cable can come round. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take this tilting handle, and just like in the last issue, we're going to pop that on there like so, and we are going to fix the first screw with a DD03, which are these. We've only got the two, we know we only need one, and I put my screwdriver down and now I can't find it. Here it is. So we're going to first of all fix this one. This is going into metal. And I'm just going to push that until it's tight. Don't want to overdo it, even though we are going into metal. And just like this one, that feels sufficient just with that one screw. But the next step is to use a DP07, of which we have quite a few. So that can go in there. Okay, and this one is just going to be screwed until the resistance changes, because it's going to cut its own thread. There we go. I'm happy with that. I don't think that's going anywhere. I'm not going to try it, but I think I could pick this whole cab up. There we go. That's how strong it is. And it's, to be honest with you, most of that strength seems to be coming from that screw there. That one just seems to be an extra screw. Right, so the next step then is, as we did in the last issue, get our lens, make sure it's the correct way round. We're going to push that into there, and that will push in very nicely. Excellent. Then we are going, sorry, I've jumped ahead. That's actually after the next stage, but we've done it now, so that's fine. So I do apologise. So we need to take this left mudguard, and we've got the hole there, and we've got two screw holes there. Now get our screws ready, DP07s, and we need two of these, and we're going to get one ready on our screwdriver. I'm going to use this one just to get it started, because it's got a nice flat back, and I can get that screwdriver ready. Okay, so as we did in the last stage, the last issue, sorry, we're going to bring this mudguard in. We're going to bring it underneath these two holes here and slip that into there like so. Hold that there, and any screw hole, we're just going to pop that in just enough to bite. Try to make sure you're getting it in straight. Okay, and that should hold. And then with the second screw hole, just support it from underneath. We're going to pop that in just enough to bite, and then we'll finish that off. Now forgive me guys, I'm going to turn this over. It's just for convenience of screwing in, so you're probably not going to see the screw holes on the screws that I'm screwing in. But we're just going to screw this until the resistance changes, and then have a little wiggle. Does this fit? Yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere, so I'm happy with that. So next we're going to take our LED, we're going to just slip that through the hole in the mudguard, so it looks something like that. What we'll do is we'll pull that out as far as we can. Don't need to tug it or anything. And we're going to take our left indicator. So step one of fitting the left indicator is to pop that lens in, and then we're going to pop in the hole there. We're going to pop the bulb, push that in. Now I've got fingernails, so I'm just going to push that in like so, and then use the wire to help you. Push that into there. See that hole there? And when I did the last issue, I wasn't really sure how far this needs to stick out. But what I found, I think that's the wrong, no, that's fine. Does it go there? Does it go in? But I found actually that when you push it, you get a click. There we go. There's the click. So it does stick out a little bit, but not massively. So that is us at the same stage as the previous issue. However, we do have more to do. For that I need to get the chassis, and this I believe is getting put away. So I will see you in a moment. I'll just do a cut and then we'll bring the chassis in. So this is a stage which is going to make me very, very happy, which I will explain as we go. We have lots of little loose bits and little big pieces that we've got we've made ages ago and we've had to store. Excuse me. And now we're going to get rid of those pieces, so I'm very happy. So we need to take the tractor unit assembly from issue 73. Now I've got this the wrong way round according to the magazine. I need it this way. So we need to identify the fixing points for the mudguard from issue 43, and these fixing points there, I can see them clear as day, one there and one there. So this is going to be a little bit awkward, guys. We need to take the mudguards that we made in a previous issue, which are these. Now they've been in the drawer a long time, so they've got a little tiny bit of dust on them. Now, point to note, guys, I'm going to state the obvious to most of you. We obviously need the fixing points on this side pointing towards the chassis, but we also need those lights pointing backwards. That then means it's only one chassis. You can't actually see that this is the one with a number plate needed. So this one, if we pop this one in, I know I do this unnecessary test fitting, but you can see that's wrong because the lights are the wrong way round. So we're going to take this one with a number plate, and I'm trying to be careful here, guys. There isn't too much sticking out on this side, but we're going to fit these posts there onto there, and there's only one way they can fit because they've actually got square pegs. Now the part that I'm worried about is the wires, and it looks like the wires are going to go underneath. You'll need to support fit the rectangular plates, screw the sockets in the end of the mountain bars with screw holes in the chassis, turn the chassis over so it doesn't look like, to be honest with you, these wires there, you know, the question I'm asking myself is, do they go through the leaf springs, do they go underneath, do they go over the top? But I think what we can do is, when it comes down to it, it looks like they're going to go underneath the leaf springs, but I think that we could, with a pair of tweezers, we can manipulate those at a later stage. So this is going to need some support. How I'm going to do it, I'm not 100% sure, but we are going to fix that in with DP7 screws, and we're going to need 2. And I've got 3, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because we are going to do the other side. So let's get 4 out. So I have now got another screwdriver, which is way too big. Okay, so let's turn this around. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. And we're going to have to come in from a slight angle. And I'm just gonna pop that first screw in. Okay, and that's a good job I did, because you see where this has had to move to fit. Okay, now I am supporting this. I've got it slightly off the ground. Now this first screw is going in, and the second one. Now this is actually better than I first thought, because that's not on that tight. However, it doesn't need to be in really tight, it just needs to not move. It's not going to take any weight. I would say that's fine. Now, as I've put this in, I'm thinking, would it, because I don't want to rest anything on top of that, and I don't want to rest anything on the bottom. Let's have a look. Let's get a box. I think this is going to be a problem. There we go. Whoops. Right, so yeah, really need to raise that off the ground, and I've just found a little drawer which is perfect because the drawer is actually slipping through there, so it's not pushing anything down, so we want to be careful, guys. So let's turn, I'm not going to turn this around because we're going to be coming in with the screws from this side, so we're just going to pop this bit straight on. And obviously I'm having to do this blind now because I haven't turned it round. But that's in. I can see what the problem is. So I put this on and this bit was actually the wrong way round. So make sure they are going that way. And that's fine. So usual procedure, guys. First screw in just enough to bite. And because I'm coming in at a very slight angle, it's going to be so much easier to strip these threads. So be very careful, guys. I am a firm believer that when things go wrong, most of the time it's because I've done something wrong. Now that's gone in very nicely. And there. I think that's perfect. Yes, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So we'll check these cables. They're going, and oh, there we go. I thought there was one missing. Right, so that's the rear mudguards on, guys. That was a lot simpler than I thought. So let me have a little flip with you. So that's the mudguards on. Okay. Now some of you in America might be a bit confused because you might forget, because we're on a different side of the road. That's where, although, yeah, that's on the near side. Is that not on the wrong side? That's on the near side. I always thought the number plates would be on the off side, which is this side. Okay, not to worry. Right, so now comes a part that I am quite happy about. Normally, I don't like putting some of the wheels on. I like to put all of the wheels on or none of them. But I'm very, very happy to make an exception this time. And the reason that I'm happy to make an exception, let me flip this over. I really am not happy about these. They're very loose and they're just, every time I pick this up they fall off, and once we get these back wheels on they will stay in place. That's why I'm happy. So we do need to pop these in next. So we take one of our back wheels. It's telling us to do that one first, but I really don't think it makes a difference. Now we have this plastic bit in there, so that's the inside and that's the outside. And it's going to go on like, not quite as easy as we first thought. So we're going to have to just bend this around a little bit, manipulate it around so that that goes on. And that really is not going on as easily as I thought it would. I can see it's not in. How? Okay, it's not actually going to go that far. I think that was actually in as far as it will go. Okay, I'm not happy with that, guys. I'm not happy with that. Now that's gone in fully. This one, I can see now. So if you look right deep in there, see that hole isn't a hole, it's shaped. I'm trying to get some focus on there. Come on guys, focus. Right. So can you see in there, it's not actually a round hole, it's almost a figure of 8. That matches the shape on there. So this wouldn't go all the way in. And what happened, there you go, it's just gone in now. Right, so if you don't have it lined up, this is as close as you can get it. So just turn that wheel around until it lines up, and it will eventually go. It should eventually go. Why is this not going? There we go, that's in. Do you see it? Just give that little clunk and it went in. Right, so we need to now use a DD08 screw. Remember where I put that wheel on. So this is my DD08s, and they've given us 4, and it looks like we only need 2. So are we going to be keeping these for future issue? Right, so all we're going to do is just pop this screw into the middle of the wheel, and we're going to tighten this up. Now what I would suggest is, not having put the screw in yet, if we tighten this too much, the wheels aren't going to go round. If we don't tighten it enough, the wheels are going to wobble. I'm going to take this wheel off, guys. The reason I'm going to take this wheel off is because you've got this this bit going through the middle. I think it's rotating it. Yeah. So we need to hold the other end. Now, that's good. That's good. I've actually put that on a little bit too tight. So I'll just back that off. Still a bit tight. I don't want to back it off too much. Right. That's fine. I'm happy with that. It's not loose. Now, let me pop the other wheel on, and then I'll show you something a little bit clever. Little bit clever, and well, I will certainly learn something. So again, this wheel, it's got a certain way to go on, and once we find the shape, this should be easier because the other end's connected. There we go, that's gone in. So take our screw, and remember this is now connected to that rod going through, so we should just hold that wheel, and that should stop that from turning it round. So I'm not going to go all the way this time, I'm learning from experience. Right. Okay, it's not doing what I thought it would do, which is fine. So, when you turn the wheels, is that a prop shaft? You can see that turning round. Now, I thought there was some differential in there, which means, now what the differential means is as this goes round a corner, right, if it goes this way, this wheel needs to rotate faster to keep up with this one. So what happens is the gears, it is a cog in there, and it kind of slips a little bit to allow that one to go faster. Now although these wheels can move a little bit independently, you can't turn one without the other. So I think this is just for show, that you can see this going round as you push it along. But that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to be pushing this around, and I'm very, very happy with that. So now we've got the back wheels on, it means that this is connected to something, so it's not going to fall off. And when we rest this on the ground, the mudguards aren't going to touch the ground. So let's pull this up, and we have just one more little bit to do, but I do want to see this on the ground. And of course, one other thing we can do, if we're careful, remember this steering's not connected yet, so these are moving independently, but we can just place that wheel on there. I don't see any harm in that. There we go. One wheel on there, and one wheel on there. I know I haven't finished building yet. There we go. So if you are overly concerned about the wheels, at least you can put some wheels on. So the last two little bits left for this issue are these, and now these I'm very happy with. I've not done a build like this before. I've got the wrong bits. So these are screw covers stroke hubcaps, and these have got magnets in. We've seen these before, these come in an earlier issue, and what we're going to do is we're just going to place that in there like that, making sure we get the correct one. There we go. So it's actually this one. Make sure it is that one. No, it's not, it's this one. Yeah, and that's a little bit cleverer than I thought. Right, so I kind of used that other one as a practice. Let me take these wheels off because they're going to fall off. So if I turn this on its side, mind I don't catch the steering. So there's the wheel, and there's that hole, and there's the screw hole. We're going to take this one. Now it's got a magnet in the middle, but it's also got these four little bits coming out. Now that's going to cause a little bit of friction in there, and it's going to go in like that. Trying to get a focus on that. How beautiful is that? That's not going to come out easily, but that's in. I mean, I've got no intention of taking the wheels off. The only issue I've got is it is rather red, and as a result you lose that detail. So if you wanted to put a little wash around it, I don't see any harm. One wash that I've got that I haven't tried out yet is this light dirt, because I'm going to be if you put it onto gloss, it won't, a lot of it won't remain. So I think that might be a good job, but disclaimer guys, I've not tried the wash yet myself. So right, so let's have a little bit of a dry fit. I'm going to pop this wheel on. These are actually going on, I believe, in the next issue. So that's another reason why I don't really mind too much. And I'm going to pop the cab on, which I believe is going to go on something like this, and that is looking amazing. Oh, that's why I don't like putting the wheels on. So I'm really sorry about the camera angle guys. This is rather a large model, as you know, but hey, look at that. That's the cab. Right guys, so I'm going to call these two issues complete, or this issue at least. Now I believe the next issue is going to be a big one, so I'm only planning on doing the one stage, and I believe that that's going to take us up to Christmas. It really depends on when this one's coming out. Probably confused you loads there guys, but I'll tell you what, I'll see you in the next issue, and I'll be doing issue 105. Take care guys, bye bye.